12 Gauge Embrace, and you're watching the Subject Press.
Bring out the donkey!
We're trappings together, held high against the weight. It grows hard to remember the last time the agony set in. A smile so wide.
Hi, I'm Dilly Briggs, and I am with the Subject Press. I happen to be here with Caitlin Rose and Kaylee, and we are here speaking with the guys from 12 Gauge Embrace. How you guys doing?
Good. What's up?
Now, we are here at the Sound Matrix Studio?
Sound Matrix.
Sound Matrix Studio, because they just recorded for their video. Can you guys tell us about that? Whoever wants to start, doesn't matter.
So James Shomo, he's the director, and what would you like to be called, Shomo? The director, producer, and cinematographist. So Shomo hit me up and said, "Hey, I'd really like to shoot a video for you guys." So we all talked about it, chose Goner as the song that we wanted to do, that we thought would visually look as good as it sounds. And so today is the first portion where we just do live performance, and then the end of May we're going to go on location in Yucca Valley, and we have actors. We're going to shoot a whole story aspect of the video.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice. How long do you think that'll take you guys to do?
It's going to be 3 days, so we'll be on location for 3 days in Yucca Valley, and then hopefully by the end of August, early September, we'll have the video finished.
Nice, nice. So that's with all of this that you recorded today as well?
Yeah, so the band footage, the live performances, that's going to be cut in and out. So it'll probably be black and white. That's what we're talking about. So it'll contrast well with the desert footage.
Nice. So how did you feel about today's video shoot?
I felt great. I thought it was a good time. It's the whole band's back together today, which is awesome sauce. We've had a distance problem here just because based on our careers and our personal choices.
We don't have careers. We're rock stars.
Right. We're not always. Yeah. It's really good to play with the guys today. It's nice to kind of revisit the song Goner. A lot went into writing that song. I know Joe kicked that one right out the gate, and really enjoyed playing some with bass players. By the way, like I said, bassist for 12 Gauge Embrace.
Oh, yeah.
But
let people know what you do in the band.
But it felt really good today to get out there and play, and then it's good to see Shomo again, and to get take this project a little bit further than where it had been before. And I think this is going to be a great way to breathe some life back into the album.
Very nice. Do you guys have any other live shows coming up for 12 Gauge, or right now are you just working on getting the videos going?
Yeah, there's nothing on the calendar. We're putting all of our energies into this video, so it's we're trying and make it seem like the biggest production on a creative budget. So it's really the whole thing is we're trying to. The song's cool that we're telling a story, so it's kind of an allegory of unconditional love and a failed relationship, with the theme of zombie. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So it's like, ultimately, if one of your loved ones became afflicted with something, whether it's cancer or they become a flesh-eating zombie, you still, the horror of you want to get away and preserve your own life, but the separation anxiety and the difficulty of, just turning off your emotions for the person that you care about, that you love. That's the whole kind of theme behind Goner, and it's for me I was writing the lyrics mostly about just troubled relationships and how no matter how bad it is for you, you still you still remain in it because of the unconditional love that you feel for the other person, even though you can't seem to make it work for the best. So that's kind of the whole thing. It's like one of our, it's a real heavy song, but it's got a kind of that earthy acoustic setup that just, I don't know, gives it that, it's a different take. You know, for us it's kind of like, we've heard, you know, the Alice in Chains kind of comparison or whatnot, but it's real heavy. We kind of go back to some of the new metal roots for some of the riffs, but the verses are awesome. And when Joe was writing this, he wrote it originally on acoustic, and for
Nice.
me it was like a great setup for a story. So like all the verses just were natural storytelling verses for me, and then it's just like super hard hitting for the choruses.
Is that why you chose this particular song to make this video?
Well, yeah, it was, I don't know, we just felt like this is one of our stronger songs. It's one of the singles, so we have Rewind as kind of a more commercial take, but Goner's really, I guess, the core of what 12 Gauge Embrace sounds like. That's the first song that Joe and I started to work on when we started writing after our other band, Needle Mouth, that had broken up. So I think Goner pretty much says, you know, 12 Gauge Embrace.
Nice, nice. So who does most of the songwriting for you guys? Is it like a collaboration between all of you, or just you and Joe do most of the writing, or what is it? What's going on with that?
No, we all collaborate. I mean, that's the whole part of being in a band is having everybody's different influences and being able to bounce off of each other and have everybody, you know, well, how about this or how about that? You know, for the most part, I'll come up with a couple riffs, or Sam and I work on some stuff on the newer stuff that we've been working on, and you know, and then we bring it to the table, you know, and bring the drums and the bass and stuff into it. I mean, even Mike writes some guitar riffs and stuff sometimes that we've brought into songs as well. So it's kind of all over the map, like what we do. But I mean, it's as a core of a band, and working together and bouncing off of each other is where we get, you know, the product.
That's a total lie. Rob writes all of the songs.
It's all Rob.
The glorious drum beats. We're like, you know what? Then we start working.
It's inspiring.
Yeah, these guys like kind of write everything. I try to stay out as much as possible out of the mix, because what I do, I tend to slow things down. But
The singer slows things down?
well, I like to. I start to arrange things how I hear it post production, and sometimes that it makes it it makes it more difficult for these guys. It's a very organic process. This band's we don't write things from afar, kind of Frankensteining them in different iterations. You know, like, hey, I wrote and tracked this, and I'll send it over to this guy, and Sam listens to it, and he writes something on top of that. We're very old school. We get together, we just start hammering something out. It starts with a riff, and then there's usually fighting to figure out if that riff is worthy enough to make it through the whole, like what I think a song is. Is that vocal? That doesn't support vocals. That's more riffy. And we go through that, and it's very organic, and not a lot of bands do that anymore. They you know, it's easy to do pre-production in your room, and just have people stack on top of that, and that's cool, and it works great for a lot of people. I just think our band's much more organic, and so some of the songs that, like Goner, for example, we originally had that with Shomo playing adding samples to that, and Joe and I were going through a process where we thought we were going to revive Needle Mouth, and just that never happened, and so we just kept playing with other people, and then we got Rob in there, and things just really started to change, and it became a completely different song. And so that's like, it takes us longer to write songs, I think, than most bands, because of all the technology and being able to write all the pre-production stuff. But I don't want to like toot our own horn, but it sounds very organic, like we actually sat in a room and worked on the material, and it's the material is like a product of the passion and love for each person's part and what they want to say in the song. And then, you know, at the end of the day, we all kind of carve it up, and I think my job is to try to make it as accessible to listeners as possible, so I'm always thinking the vocals. I play guitar, play bass. I don't do those well, and that's why.
That's why you got the guys,
You
right?
really need to know your strength and stick to your strength. And
He's actually a really good bass player.
but it's not my strength. So and that's what we're all really good at. And I mean, would you guys agree? It's like the song's kind of,
Yeah.
you know, it's a punching bag, and we all work
Right.
at it, work at it, and then
Yeah, like with Goner, when I wrote everything on an acoustic guitar originally, and then when we were trying to do it, the song was a lot faster, and it was
Yeah,
a lot
much
heavier, and I don't know if Sheldon remembers that or not, but when we started 12 gauge and with this whole project and taking it back to like bare bones and adding the
really fast. But yeah, it's definitely a process for us. And so we've interestingly enough, it's like Mike's been back for 2 days, and we have
Back from where?
Back from Virginia Beach, Virginia. So I'm active duty military. That's been in for a minute now. So getting ready to punch out though, and
A minute is like a minute is like 16 years.
This
As
guy,
a musician.
it's a high. He don't know what to do if he's a regular civilian.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like getting growing cobwebs and. Yeah.
yeah, but it's yeah, no, so yeah, I've been back for a little bit, but it's good to be back, and only got a little bit longer in the military, and then I'll finally be done with all that, and then carrying on full time for
Bass
the,
player full time from there.
for the band. Yeah, 12
He
gauge
gets to
brace
retire.
available.
Right. Well, that's nice. I know he is being modest because Mike is not just someone in the service. Mike is, what is it again? I want to make sure Green Navy?
Expeditionary.
Expedition. Okay, I want to make sure I had that
Yes,
right.
Green Navy. But yeah.
So we all appreciate Mike's
Yes.
service, obviously, and it's a very tough. We have to suck it up and eat that humble pie because we love this band, and we obviously we want the band to be first, and you have to sacrifice your time, your
Oh, yeah.
family, time with friends, because we're adults trying to make music, but we all have to kind of. When Mike's got to go, he's got to go. And then
Right.
You gotta have that adult life somewhere.
You know,
Yep.
I could give a compliment to the band on there. They've been very patient, very supportive. You see a lot of bands try to take credit for military service or say they cater to the troops, and I do greatly appreciate that. But this is
this one's
this
legit.
is
Right?
And we
These
have
guys
never
really,
written a thank you to the armed forces song because we got the guy in here. And,
Yeah.
Right. You have him right there.
We don't
So
I want to thank
people
my-
coming to see your band is thank you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
but,
what we get.
just want to thank my band for sticking by me through all this and being super supportive. Basically, my family, as far as I'm concerned. You guys are all my brothers for sure.
Very nice. Yeah, and it takes that to be able to go through something like this. And I think that's fantastic. You guys are awesome. I do have your CD. I love it. We've been listening to it. The girls really like it. They've started listening to it. They like it a whole lot too. So I think it's fantastic. Do you guys have any type of, like, say, upcoming other musicians who are struggling to go through this? Do you have any advice or anything for them that you would give them?
Don't play music.
I mean,
Get out.
just
Right.
be authentic, be real, because it's so it's awesome that there's the internet, social media. There's all kinds of outlets for people to be able to express themselves, but now it's there's a sea of talent. There's anyone can make something that sounds legitimately produced on a very limited budget, which is awesome. But what it does is it kind of oversaturates, I think, the amount of music out there. And it's like it's I don't want to sound like an old guy, but honestly, it's like if the music doesn't move you and you can't it's not like doesn't make it into the soundtrack that's your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's you're going to be a flash in a pan, and you're going to be forgotten. And that's one of the downfalls with most of the music today, is that you're expected to put out new material so quickly, and it's supposed to be better than what you just did, which might have taken you, a year to write. Now it's churn it out, pump that stuff out as quick as possible. And I think, I don't know, overall, I think it hurts the music industry, and I think listeners don't get enough time to kind of soak up what people are trying to put out there. So, if that makes sense. I mean,
No, it does. It does make sense because you can tell sometimes if you're somebody who really
Yeah.
is into music, you can tell a difference between someone who kind of threw something together and someone who really did put their time into it. And one of the things about coming out and getting behind the scenes of you guys filming this, it shows that because you did so many different takes for each one of you and just different angles and everything and over just to make sure you had it right. And, I think it shows a whole lot of what you put into it when you can kind of come and see the behind the scenes stuff and show that it's a lot of work. You don't just get up and roll out of bed looking like a rock star and show up and everything looks perfect. It is a lot of work. Well, maybe all of you guys do.
I have to roll out of bed, look like something, but yeah.
No, but it really does make a difference, and fans do notice that, and I think that's fantastic that you guys put that time and effort into it.
Yeah, we just write for ourselves, and we don't really think about the audience. We're just more consumed about making a cathartic product that we live and breathe. It's every part of us, and that's what I was getting back to. What I was trying to say. So Mike's been back. We had one rehearsal before our show that we had yesterday, and we don't have too much new material put together. But these guys, like within 5 minutes, I heard something that was like just really unique, cool, something totally different, and like for 10 minutes in the rehearsal room, I was like, oh shit, like wow, this is all new territory. Sam's been in the band. Sam is not on the album, but Sam joined the band about 9 months ago, and he's just a whole new dynamic, totally different style of guitar player than Joe. And Mike just brought some little riffing stuff in, some song ideas that he's been working on. He started to put some guitar to it, and it was just like, I got the goosebumps again. And yeah, I mean,
Yeah, when you get that little spark of something that gets everyone, all of us excited, then it's to continue on and to make the whole song become that spark. So from when you start it to when you finish it, there's excitement in there, and basically that we all enjoy what was put into those songs.
Well, it shows. Today, just seeing you guys and watching everything, it shows. You guys enjoy it. You guys were really into it. And I appreciate that you do that as well, because there's a lot of us out there that use music as our escape, and, that type of stuff, because daily life is really hard. So you need to be able to have somebody who can go out there and put their heart and soul into entertaining, and we appreciate that you do that. And thank you so much for letting us come out and get behind the scene footage. I think we're going to have a lot of happy fans, because people really like to see what goes on behind the scenes, because you don't always get that. And then they could see the hard work that goes into it, because they don't always see that either. And I think that's fantastic. Is there anything that you guys would like to add to it? Anything you'd like to say, because you didn't really say anything? I want to get everybody turned. All good?
I'd like to say thanks to all the fans for having out there. I
Absolutely,
really appreciate everything, all the support. The fans that show up to shows time and time again. Even I got a lot of friends overseas right now still listening to music and really digging what 12 Gauge brings, and the way that that the fans make us feel, and we greatly appreciate that. We really do.
absolutely. Yep.
Very nice.